Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Teesha, and today we're going to do a huge post-burn review. Now I've been doing these every couple of weeks, and sometimes I'll even throw them in weekly. And this is just all the candles that I got through for the week. And then, I kind of just share my thoughts on them, like how they burnt overall. Did I enjoy the scent, and would I repurchase them or recommend them to you all? So I got through 3 single wicks and 10 3 wicks this last couple of weeks. It's been crazy. I just really been home a lot. We've been staying home as much as possible because it's too expensive to go do anything. And I've been burning multiple candles. I'm sorry, I just messed with my hair because it was windy outside, and you guys know I'm weird about that, and you guys don't say anything. So, yeah, I've been burning multiple candles per day. I do want to share with you. I'm going to do a get ready with me, so we can just get that crossed off the list. And I would love to know if you guys have any more questions for me, because I've gotten a few really good ones. And in that video, or in the little comment section, I got a question about like my burn routine, and I actually do have one, so I'd like to share that with you in that video. But basically, it'll kind of give you more understanding of how I get through so many candles. So we're going to jump into the single wicks, and then we'll end with the 3 wicks. And I burnt through mostly Bath and Body Works, but I did get through a couple Huntington Home candles. So we're going to jump right in. My single wicks did a phenomenal job this week. I went ahead and used up a Coastal Sun. And the only way you'll see these candles again is if I do use them in a fresh blend. But I think because I don't have that planned, I'll just talk about which ones I blended as we go. But this is a really beautiful scent. Now, I had never picked this up in a wallflower. I grabbed this at SAS with a bunch of these tester candles for the 75% off, which I was super excited to find. This is like a soapy scent, but almost, I mean, it's leaning like sunwash citrus, like with a little bit of like a clean air or something. It was really strong, and this did well with so many of my 3 wicks that weren't performing as strong. So for example, I had this one going in the living room, and again, it is a single wick. So when I say strong, I don't want you to think like projecting through every nook and cranny, but it was giving off a really nice throw. And so I was actually pairing this with some of my lighter fruity scented candles. Like raspberry mimosa can do okay in a big concept space, but this was giving me like sunwash citrus, raspberry mimosa, and a little bit of that like clean air scent. So it was really nice. It was kind of resetting the air a little bit, and I really enjoyed this. It burnt down really nice and clean, as you can see. And I would definitely purchase this one again if I saw it in a single wick or even in a wallflower. I think it would do amazing, which I think is probably what we got it for in stores and retail. Is just a scent that never like piqued my interest. I so wish they would just stick the scent notes on here, but it wasn't even online for me to look for. So again, that's just what I'm smelling. I'm getting a like little clean scent, little clean fresh air mixed with a little bit of sunwash citrus. Those are probably not the notes at all, but that's what I'm getting when I smell this one. I also went through fresh coconut and cotton. Really enjoyed this one. I do have a video that you either seen before this or I think before this that's called Can a Single Wick Be a Powerhouse? Because I've just been blown away by the performance of my single wicks lately. Now, I do get duds. And I don't mean duds, but like single wicks that were made for a very small space, if you even want to smell it whatsoever. But this one and the next one were in my open concept, and I really did get a presence. And so this has like beachside cotton, which gives it like a little bit of a sweetness, mixed with like a nice sunny day. It smells like, unlike white t-shirt kind of does smell like that linen, this kind of smells like the beach scene. Like you can maybe do get a clean blanket that you're laying on, but you almost get that like salty air and the sandy beach and that fresh cotton, and it's really sweet. But I just want to say that if you're looking for a single wick that performs like a 3 wick, this is one. Again, I always like to say these burn for the exact amount of time, a 25 to 45 hour, which is quite a range, but these burn for the exact amount of time as a single or as a 3 wick. So it is nice when you get a single wick that also gives you the scent. So I'm not sure if my light's being helpful, but there's the packaging, and it did really well. I would definitely repurchase that one. In fact, I have repurchased that one. And then I got through my Easter candle before Easter, but this was so good I couldn't quit burning it. This is the sweet carrot cake, which we know is the cinnamon spices and the carrot cake and the cream cheese frosting. And it's got the cute little bunny butt on there. I grabbed this one. I just wanted to try it. And then I thought I'd put it away for Easter. And then I burnt all the way through it because it really did a nice job. I will say this one at first, when I smelled it on cold, did not smell like the 3-wick. It had this like plastic scent to it, but it did not come through on burn whatsoever. And it never came back. Like once I started burning it, but when I smelled it on cold, so I don't know if any of you guys have had that experience. At first I was like, what is that? But it went away completely as I burnt it, which is the time that we would really review or talk about a candle or critique it. But every once in a while we get some kind of weird smell in our candle. So I thought I would mention it. But this one, of course, wasn't as strong as a 3-wick, but it was very reminiscent of it. I was just burning this actually today, so it's still like not hot, but a little. And it was really throwing. I had the window open. I could still pick up the cinnamon spices and the cream cheese. I really thought this did a very nice job. And I remember in that Powerhouse video I made, I had just burned it once, so I said, I think it's going to be good, but I'm here to tell you that it really was. So if you were in the market, or if they do have another sale before Easter, we still got a little bit of time before Easter. This is a really nice one. If they ever have a decent enough sale, I will pick up another one. If not, I will just patiently wait for SAS and pick up a few, because I could burn this any time of year, but it's got a cute little bunny butt on there, and I really enjoyed that. So all 3 of my single wicks did an amazing job. Next, we'll talk about my 2 Huntington home candles. So the first one was Cucumber Citrus. I bought this because I heard Kimball and Sneeko talking about it, and they it was a room filler and it smelled so good, and I totally agree. I really don't have anything new to add to it. I mean, my burnt pretty clean all the way down to the end. Is the only time I remember it getting, like, the wick was kind of falling into the wax. And of course I knew it was almost done. So, but as you can see, it doesn't really have a ton of, let's see. I mean, it's got a little, but not a lot of soot. So I don't remember this one sooting. I do remember this one throwing. This has like a cucumber melon in here mixed with some more citrus. So cucumber melon is a sweet honeydew type of scent for me. This one was that plus a citrus peel or citron or something like that. And like I said, it burnt really well. This is a soy blend candle, and it really threw. So this one, this one I would definitely pick up again if you see it in store. The only thing that's hard about all these is you just kind of have to get them and try them, because by the time we can get to talking about them, it's almost too late. But I definitely recommend their channels, because they get their reviews out on Aldi candles, especially ones that they really have a good feeling about early. So I knew I wasn't planning to review this one. This was just me as a consumer saying, ooh, I want to try that. It sounded good. I was a cucumber melon girl back in the 90s, but this one really did remind me of it plus. So like it wasn't just a cucumber melon from Bath and Body Works, but it had a little bit of that in there mixed with some citrus, maybe mixed with something herbal, but the throw was crazy. I had this one burning in the living room, and there was really nothing to compete with it. So I don't know what they rated this candle at, but I'm pretty sure it was high, because this one was constantly in the forefront of anything I could smell. So I would definitely get it again if I ever found it, but that's kind of the gamble you take with Aldi candles. By the time you get it or you don't get it, it's gone. And the other one I did grab, was a nice lighter, but still very sweet and good, white peach cobbler. So I think this was another one that they recommended, because I watch those videos for ideas on how they feel about the Aldi candles. I never get in there on a Wednesday, but by the time I get there, there is sometimes some things left. Like, not even to be dramatic, I got there on like a Friday after these came out, and this was the only one, or I would have probably grabbed 2. But this one in those little single wicks that came out that are really good, like lemon buttercream and cereal milkshake, I grabbed a couple of each because I just heard the reviews, and that was so far so good. So this one is a white peach, which isn't as sweet to me, but it really does come through as a peach in here for sure. Like, the first note you get is a peach, and then that you also kind of get like a little bit of like a crusty bakery element to it. So it's not overly gourmand, but it does lean fruity gourmand. And as you can see, I burnt that all the way down, and it really did a nice job of burning. Like I said, their soy blend for $5, I just really can't say anything bad about them. Even if it's a lighter scent, which this one just wasn't as strong as the cucumber citrus, but it still gave all I needed it to give. I have this one in the kitchen, and I couldn't burn it at the same time as the cucumber citrus because, again, the peach just did not keep up. But I definitely burnt this at the same time as this candle. And I thought that they actually played well together because this is like more of a tart peach with the cranberry peach, and this was sweet. So this just kind of mixed really well. It wasn't even like an intentional blend. It just, they both had peach. So I was like, that'll be easy. And so we'll talk about this one in a second. But this one I would definitely pick up again. This is another one that I would recommend. And if you ever see it come out, I thought it performed well. I thought it had a really nice presence. I don't do the numbers, but I definitely could smell it in my open area. And that's all I really wanted, was if I walked into the kitchen, I could smell something sweet, and the sweet peach and kind of a little bit of a bakery. So that was that one right there. And then since we started talking about it, let's just go into cranberry peach. So I had done a currentburn review on this one, and then I put it away for a little bit, and I just kind of wanted to get through it. Although I really did enjoy these little like knit sweater type of packagings. The notes are sweet peaches, tart cranberry, and sugared musk. And I do really like this candle, but it wasn't one that I would say I had to just back up by, like 3 of them. I enjoyed it while I burnt it. It kind of reminded me of like a fruit tea. So it didn't have like an herbal necessary element to it, but sometimes those fruit teas really, before you drink it, just give you a lot more of the sweetened up fruits, which are artificially sweetened up, which this has sweet peach and tart cranberry. So I did get a juicy sweet fruit mixed with that tart cranberry note, and then a sugary perfumey note. Musk always to me comes off as perfume. It can come off to other people as other things, but this it really kind of almost gave like a fruity candle mixed with a perfumey candle, if that makes sense. So I really enjoyed it, but I knew as I was getting down to the end of it, I was kind of just glad I just grabbed one. I liked the experience. I would probably grab it again in a distant future where I had already tried it and didn't want anything else with, you know what I'm saying, where like I'm not rushing to get another one, but the experience was great. So will I burn another one? Absolutely. And like I said, that fruit tea just kind of, it doesn't give any herbal, but like whenever I try one of those teas, it's just very like the fruit's very prominent in when it's like steaming and you're kind of waiting for it to drink. You're like, okay, I'm really getting the fruit at that point, and then you drink it and you get more of the tea. I'm just getting the fruit when I smell it. And then, like I said, that musk. So this was almost 2 different candles at the same time. But I enjoyed it. And like I said, it mixed really well with the white peach cobbler because that was gourmand bakery. This was like juicy, tart, fruity, and then like that little bit of perfume. But they mixed really well. They did a great job. Okay, so you guys, it's because I bought so many. You know what, Sass? I bought like 6 of these. So every few weeks I throw one in because it's just one of those candles I just know that I love the scent of. And we are talking Wicked Apple. I bought 6 at Sass. So I've been just going through them with reckless abandon because I still have 3. This is Ghostly Green Apple, Creepy Caramel Drizzle, and Vicious Vanilla Bean. And it is just a sweet, those little like green charm suckers with a little bit of caramel, but the caramel isn't like hot, like Sunday caramel where it's like warm and you can kind of smell the warm part of it or the like cooking process. This seems more like the end result of the sucker, plus that vanilla really makes it like super sweet. This is such a strong, but yeah, you really get that green part of the sucker in here. I love this candle. I will continue to repurchase this candle over and over and over. I hope that they come out in a packaging just as cute, but I finally put the last 3 in a crate in the bottom of my closet. So I'll have 3 for Halloween next year. But this was a awesome candle. I don't want to talk too much about it because you can't get it right now unless maybe you were to come across it at an outlet. But man, I can't wait for this to come back. I don't want to rush the year because I know they start putting Halloween out like right after Easter. No, I'm just kidding. But like right after summer. And so I know we'll see it soon, but I will be happy to pick up this candle in another form. I don't see why they wouldn't bring this back out. This had to be their like #1 seller this year. Super good. So I just went ahead and enjoyed one more before we start getting all hot and tropical and stuff. And then this was another one. We had a cold weekend, so I had a couple more, half burnt winter candles to go through. So I, went through another one of my absolute favorites, Blackberry Cream Frosting. This is fresh blackberry sweet vanilla topped with bubbly Prosecco. I raved and raved and raved about this candle in the winter because it was just so good. It was so consistent. It seemed like everyone had got a good one, and I just fell in love with this candle. It had a nice juicy blackberry, kind of like the blackberry you find in blackberries and basil without that herbal basil. And then you get like a vanilla, which I guess is the frosting. I didn't really ever feel like it went too heavily frostinged, but I always got that like vanilla blackberry sweetness. And then the bubbly Prosecco really came through. So those were the, like, I would put them in that order, like blackberries, Prosecco, and then the vanilla that's supposed to be the frosting. But it's just so good. It was such a good, so for your fruity candle lovers, this was our Christmas candle. Of course, they had some other ones. Bubbly Rosé came out, and you always get champagne toast and all of that jazz. But Bright Christmas Morning, there were some fruity candles, but that's a time of year where you really get into the cinnamons, which I love. You get into all the different ways that they interpret the holidays. You get a lot of tree scents, but fruity scents kind of stay in their lane. It's like summer, and then when they just kind of come up with something interesting. This was that candle for me this winter. I grabbed a bunch. I think I have 3. And I'm not mad about it because, again, and just in case it doesn't come back, I now have some for when I'm missing this candle. But I was happy to go through it. It doesn't need to be burnt during the cold months. It just was that the packaging and everything kind of made me think about it. But it did a nice job during those cold months. But I really think you could enjoy blackberry creme frosting whenever you wanted because it's a nice fruity gourmand scent. One last sniff, and then we're going to put it away, and we're going to keep going because I still have a lot. I went through my this was just last year, sugared lemon zest. I knew that this was coming out in multiple forms and fashions, so I felt comfortable to burn last year's version. So here's the packaging from last year. If you remember, they gave us these like tempered lids, and all the wax was colored. And as you can see, this one did burn quite hot as the rest of the ones. I mean, I went through like a lavender vanilla. It was blue, sweet rosemary vanilla. I think that's right, lavender vanilla. I can't remember. But sweet rosemary vanilla was my favorite of this collection, but it burnt fast too. But because it burnt so fast and hot, it did get kind of sooty. It didn't really seem to soot out of the candle, but it did a lot of sooting into the candle, as you can see. So that wax does not look great. And this one burnt just like its friends. It was a really quick burn. I was burning this one with 2 candles. I burnt it a little bit with raspberry mimosa, and then I burnt it a little bit with the Tutti Frutti jelly beans candle from Easter. So my Easter candles I'm already going through, but I have backups, so we'll be all right. But I really love this candle. It's Sorrento lemon, cane sugar, and lemon zest. They always kind of play with the notes, but they all kind of give you the same thing, a sugary lemonade scent. This one might be a tad more zesty than like sugared lemonade. That one really is sweet, but this one's really sweet too. So I wouldn't say that they're different enough that you need both candles if you see them out. Smell them cold, and that was really what you're going to get on burn. But I like lemonade scents, so I always grab all the different forms. But I just don't think this one is different than sugared lemonade, and not enough to not say it's sugared lemonade, even if the notes don't match. Those are just my thoughts. But yeah, it really was a strong candle. Again, I had just a ton of strong candles, but if you've kind of been watching my channel for any amount of time, you've seen that I've burnt all of these candles before in a different packaging. So I kind of just know what I like, and I know what I like to blend. But when I blend candles, it does not have to be for any reason that they're like weak or anything like that. Sometimes I just like to smell multiple things. I like to smell that like zesty, sweet, sugary lemonade with a little bit of fruit or a little bit of sweet candy. So I just like to play with scent a little bit, but it doesn't mean that any of these candles perform bad. I'll definitely pick this up. I have picked it up in other forms. And then I went through one of my raspberry mimosas. I love this candle. I preferred the packaging that was in the White Barn from, I think, the year before. It seemed just a little bit better of a performer. This one did okay, but I did lose it a couple of times. Lose it, I don't know if that makes sense. It got lost in my home a couple of times. Like a couple of times I would say, oh, I think it like dudded out, like in the midway point, and then it would pick back up. So I'm not saying that that's anything that's like, something we all talk about, but I'm just saying that for me, a couple of times this candle actually needed a partner, and then other times I could smell everything I had gotten from a different version of raspberry mimosa in this one. So it was a very pretty jar. As you can see, as the candlelight came through, it illuminated all of that pink, and it was very pretty. This is sweet raspberry, rose sorbet, and a splash of champagne. So not bubbly champagne because that's more cranberry, but it's kind of like right in between champagne toast and bubbly rosé. They're all coming to the same reunion. If you've been here for a while, I usually say that. And this one, I do enjoy the sweet raspberry. Again, if you want tart fruit, you go with bubbly rosé. If you want juicy fruits, I think you would go with champagne toast. That's about the biggest difference. But this one I like. I just didn't love it as much as that White Barn. That was a fabulous candle. So I will burn. I would definitely purchase raspberry mimosa again. And like I said, I just don't mind blending my candles, so that's nothing that like strays me away from a candle. It's like I just know that a couple of times I thought this candle was almost done and then it kind of picked back up. So that's my experience. That's what I got to kind of tell you guys. Next, I have Tutti Frutti jelly beans from last year in the Where's Waldo bunny packaging. So it's got these bunnies all the way around. I just had a black lid on this one. This is sweet jelly beans, mixed berries, and sugared lemon. So I do get a little bit of raspberry mimosa in here. I can get a little bit of champagne toast. I don't think it's a dupe of anything. I think that they know those formulas and they mix things in and out in different consistencies and kind of give us something new. But that's why it reminds us of something we already liked. This even gives me a little bit of unicorn sprinkles. So I really enjoy it. I have another one in this packaging, and then I got this year's version. So I went ahead and started this earlier than I thought I would because I thought I was like, oh, I'm set. I got a couple of candles out for Easter, but Easter's not even here, and I'm already done burning it. But this one did really well. This one I actually had in my bedroom, and it kind of met the raspberry mimosa that was out in the open space. So they helped each other. But I don't think anyone would say this one is a strong candle, but it is a nice candle. And this one projected just fine. I could smell it. And other than that, I mean, I do think that it smells a little bit like the body care did. Um, but yeah, this is kind of one of their signature Easter scents, and I'll probably pick it up every Easter. So there was that one. Not a lot of thoughts on that. Now, my two strongest candles, well, besides the cucumber citrus, that was a strong candle, was pomegranate lemonade. And this was one that came out right after Candle Day as well. These were like a ombre effect in the White Barn jars. This has notes of juicy pomegranate, zesty lemon, and sugar crystals. And this is just so tart, so juicy, so sweet. I cannot get enough of it. Another lemonade scent. I really like this one. It kind of got a little dirty though. It was burning a little dirty. See all that soot? Doesn't that, do you think this is from like Goose Creek? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I'm being so shady. But this one was so strong. So when I had this one burning in the living room, it was down the hallway. It was in my bedroom, all the rooms off of it. I remember I went out to grab a water from the garage and I could smell lemon, like the lemonade scent out there. So this one did a really nice job. And again, sometimes I just let my candles go. So I might have burned this one a little bit too long at one point, but that one really did get dirty. And I kind of noticed that early into the burn, that like soot going into the candle. So it could be the wicks. That's not my thing, but I still would burn this candle again. And I think I even have a backup of it because it was such a nice candle. If you like those juicy, fruity, sweet, tart scents, you would love this candle. So I hope they bring it out again this summer. I went through another ice dragon fruit tea. I feel like every time I burn through one, like I find that I love this candle even more. Like you love a candle, but then you burn through your little backstock of them. And I find I appreciate this candle even more every time I burn it. Now, I probably should have went with one of my new packaging ones, but this one was just sitting out and I still have a couple. I really loved this color of jar. Not that you buy candles based on the color of jar, but this was pretty. And this is almost dropped it. Did you guys see that? I'm so clumsy. I could tell you a million stories that would make you just not even believe. Not even believe. Tropical dragon fruit, vibrant green tea, lemonade, and sweet coconut milk. And yeah, you get all of that. This is the Starbucks drink. They nailed it. I wonder how many of those they had to drink to nail the scent, but they did it. I just like weird stats like that. But this is a tried and true. Now, I can't say anything about the new packaging. I really hope they wouldn't have changed it. I can't see why they would because this candle flew off the shelves last year. But it was a good burn. Again, I tried to keep lighting it even though it was done. But so you get that little bit in there. But for the most part, it did okay on the burn. I mean, again, I didn't see any of these candles that were like soot free, but none of them are visibly sooty like Goose Creek candle, which I'm still bringing you a haul. So it's not like I learned my lesson, but I'll look at these at the end of a burn and realize it was sooty, but I didn't realize it was sooty during the burn, if that makes any sense. But this was my absolute favorite burn this week. It probably always will be, but I did burn through quite a few good ones. So it is finally your turn. Let me know down below what you've been burning and loving, and I will keep bringing these videos just because it's a really fun way for me to get through my collection. I love blending them for you. I love talking about them with you, but I have to know what you're burning and loving in case I'm missing out, because I have that fear. Also, I just hope you have a good day, and I will see you in a video probably tomorrow. Thank you, friends. Bye.